What's up everyone, this is Spaniel12. We're back with another F1 video on how to properly warm your tires in F123. Since we're just at the heels of F122, you guys are probably like swerving around, straights as much as you can to get those heat of those tires up. And when you do that, sometimes you kind of hit the AI, just like you saw earlier in that small kind of clip right there before I had to replay because damage on qualities. But so now I'm going to show you how to go from really cold tires, regardless if it's qualities or practice or what have you. So we're going to go from like very cold tires, because we start off at 70 and then usually sometimes get to 79, 80 by the time you get to like sector 2. But the method for F123, you can literally go from like 70 to the optimal temp at 90 degrees centigrade basically by the time you get to the start finish line. So as you can see here, this is in Jeddah where we're by like the third sector. And you see that our tires are basically at the optimal level even before we get to the start of our lap. So, that being said, here is how we do it. You go full on the throttle. Of course, don't spin. And as you're on the full of the throttle, just dab the brakes. Or press on the brakes like about 5 to 10%, or just enough if you pull up the MFD where you see the tire temps and the brake temps. Make sure you look at the brake temps are somewhere between 800 to 900 degrees centigrade. I'm not going to convert that to Fahrenheit. I'll let you guys solve what that is if you guys do it in Fahrenheit. As you see here, we're basically in the third sector, and we already have the optimal tire temps for the front and the back tires. So that was like within one sector, because when we cut to this clip, we were just about in sector 2 at the start of sector 2, and by the time we approached sector 3 we had optimal tire wear. And so as we hit the line, we're already at 93, 95, which is the optimal tire wear. But here we go. On our outlap, we start off at 71 degrees centigrade, and we're just gonna go through these motions as they still haven't fixed that issue, but that's a story for another moment. So as we hit the straight in sector 2, you see how we're pressing on the brake while we're full on gas, and you see that our tires are now basically at 78 and 83, and so it kind of just shows you it works. Like our tire temps are going around that area. But I have two things to mention to you that I will warn you of, especially when you guys are doing this in qualities. First of all, fuel. Make sure your fuel, you kind of over fuel a bit, because if you do this for the entire lap, you're gonna underfuel, and then you might not even get back to the pit after your run. Or you could experiment with it, and then you can kind of get within a sector and you'll be fine in terms of fuel. Second is your brake bias. Your brake bias kind of dictates, if it's going to be the front tires or the rear tires that's going to get most of the heat. So make sure your front and rears, when you test it out, adjust your brake bias so that the front and the rear tires are actually the brake temperature of the front and rear tires are about equal. So usually that's around 60 brake bias from what I've seen, but that was here in Jeddah. It might be different in other tracks, so definitely you guys would have to experiment and check that. So if you guys see that your if most of the temperature is on the rears, increase your brake bias. If the brake temperatures is higher on the front and the back, then you reduce your brake bias. And my brake bias was a bit more on the rears, so you could kind of see that the rear tires are getting cooked more than normal. I mean, heated more than normal. Sorry, wrong term right there. But it still works. You know, I did race on this. It did help. But let me know what you guys think. Like and comment down below if you guys think this helped. And subscribe for future F1 related videos. Especially that I'm starting F1 23 series, and then I'm gonna post out some chapters as well for Breaking Point if you guys are interested in that. So thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all the next time. This is Final 12, signing out.